I am no longer a part of the Linux kernel community. This came about after a very long period of thought and a lot of succession planning. I didn't take the decision to step down lightly. I felt guilty for a long time for stepping down. However, I finally realized that I could no longer contribute to a community where I was technically respected, but I could not ask for personal respect. I could not work with people who helpfully encouraged newcomers to send patches, and then argued that maintainers should be allowed to spew whatever vile words they needed to in order to maintain radical emotional honesty. I did not want to work professionally with people who were allowed to get away with subtle sexist or homophobic jokes. I feel powerless in a community that had a code of conflict without a specific list of behaviors to avoid and a community with no teeth to enforce it. These are the words of Sarah Sharp. Her resignation from Linux kernel development has been written about on various tech sites, and it's apparently a topic of discussion in related communities. Now, I am not a technical person. I know nothing about any kind of development, so why do I care? As you heard from her writing, this issue is emphatically not a technical one, and the solution she's proposed on her blog is just fascinating. What makes a good community? There's been a lot of discussion in my comments section about what makes a good community, along with suggestions of welcoming open source communities to check out. Your hearts are in the right place, but I've never found an open source community that doesn't need improvement. It couldn't just be you, could it? I'm quite happy to give the Zorg community a chance, mostly because I believe they're starting from the right place for cultural change. Or maybe it's Xorg. Like I said, I don't know about this stuff. The thing is, reaching the goal of a diverse community is a step-by-step process. There are no shortcuts. Each step has to be complete before the next level of cultural change is effective. It's also worth noting that each step along the way benefits all community members, not just diverse contributors. What is a diverse contributor? I didn't really realize that was an adjective to be applied to individuals. Maybe Baha Mustafa should have just tweeted #KillAllNonDiverseMen. These steps I have to follow to become more diverse. Did these cost money? Is it anything like removing thetans? So, how does one go about systematically making a community more diverse? Level 0. Basic human decency. In order to attract diverse candidates, you need to be known as a welcoming community with a clear set of agreed upon social norms. It's not good enough to have a code of conduct. Your leaders need to be actively behind it, and it needs to be enforced. Your trap has to be perfect. One slip up and the diverse candidates will run away. Let's take a look at the kind of social bait that is needed to catch some. Day-to-day community interactions are generally at... What the fuck is this? Is she trying to teach the Borg to socialize? What is DISCON?
So I've created DISCON, which is the DEF CON insult scale for conversations. It works just like the DEF CON scale, and it tells you for a given conversation sort of what level of is involved.
Why would she bother making that when she clearly spends her life at the maximum? I think I'm going to pass on that one, thanks. Hopefully some of the other rules for this step toward diversity are a bit less weird. When microaggressions are pointed out, community members stop, listen, and apologize. Yeah, funny joke. I bet the link goes to Rick Astley. Oh, how to respond to ally criticism. At Open Source Bridge, Karonda. Okay, let's see who that is. Never mind. Gave a talk called Expanding Your Empathy. She mentioned that in school, you're taught when you're on fire, you stop, drop, and roll. What a progressive analogy. Having to talk to a minority is just like being set on fire. The teachers drill this into you over and over again, because when you're in fire, you're on fire, and you panic. Drilling in a simple mantra over and over helps you get past the panic response and put out the fire. Karonda proposed drilling a mantra into your head for when you're accused of being biased. Stop, listen, apologize. Strange, they forgot to include part 4. Obey. And remember, this is level 0. This is the bare minimum of human decency. Let's skip up to level 5. Let's see what's going on there. Code of conduct explicitly protects diverse developers, acknowledging the spectrum of privilege. There's that thing again. Diverse individuals, picking them out specifically to give them special protection. If you've got a bunch of developers and they are all different, surely that is a diverse group of developers. Could you have a situation where 4 out of 5 people in a group are diverse and then 1 isn't? If what she means is there should be special rules protecting others from white men, she should just say it. No one respects a weasel. Even if she doesn't mean that though, there's no point continuing to analyze this. There is a fatal flaw in her model. Her step-by-step plan is self-defeating. She wrote, "In a level 5 welcoming community, diversity is not just a PR campaign. Developers truly seek out different perspectives and try to understand their own privilege. The very moment a group going along with this stops caring about PR and starts seeking out different perspectives, they'll also stop following all the ridiculous rules. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions. I couldn't quite fit this into the flow of the video, but at the same time I couldn't leave it out either. Signs of a level 5 welcoming community. Conferences include childcare, clearly labelled veggie and non-veggie foods, and a clear event policy. I think it's fair to say that any conference attended by this person automatically counts as some kind of childcare.